All right, Jimmy from Heavy Mag on board Rock the Boat 2023 with Sarah McLEOD, who I'm sure needs no introduction. How's the cruise been so far?
Okay, so I've got to be honest, when I got on here at first, I was a bit overwhelmed and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be intense. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Day 2, I started going, oh yeah, this is cool. Day 3, I'm like, I'm digging this. Now, I don't want to get off. I love it.
Having heaps of fun then, eh?
I really am, yeah. I just had to get my head around it. It was my first cruise. I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand that I just walked in and everyone just started talking to me straight away. I was like, oh my God. But then I was like, these people are cool. And then I can talk to everyone as well. And I'm making new friends everywhere and having dinner with people every night. And it's lovely.
We've noticed on stage that the interaction between the artist and, the cruisers has been quite good.
Yeah. Everyone's hanging out together, jumping up, jamming with each other. And
no one's hassling you too much?
No. They were on day 1. It was like everyone went, wow, this is, a moment, everyone's here. I think everyone was just a bit excited. And then after that, everyone's been super cool. Everyone's now just like, g'day McLEOD. Like, hey
good
Beverly. How you going, Suzanne? Hey Bridget,
We've met some new friends too, so it's been fun.
Yeah, it's great.
You were saying in your set when we seen you, when was that? It was a few days ago. So when I wrote these interview notes, we were talking to you the next day. So I said yesterday, but you're saying it's the first time playing solo works with a band?
Yeah. Well, not the first time, but the second time. But when I first put out my first solo record in 2005, I had a 5-piece band, and we did one tour, and then I haven't played with the band since, only the Super Jesus, but solos just always just me on piano or me on guitar, and maybe me and a drummer at best, but never like 4-piece band. And it's great! And the band's so good, and we'd never played together before this tour.
So what was the rehearsal schedule like leading up to it?
We didn't rehearse, we just rehearsed in our cabin.
We never would have guessed.
Much to the horror of our disgruntled neighbours.
Yep. So, like this
morning... Must have been too bad though, because the neighbours came to the gig.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's all good. So, like this morning, when you did your set the other day, the boat was rocking pretty hard. Was it difficult kind of responding to that the first time around? Did you feel it on stage? Yeah, because, I move around a lot as well. So, like, when you're trying to do your business and you're rolling around, it's a bit weird. You just got to make sure you really plant your feet. What I thought was weird was watching the audience, who at one point they were all standing together and they all went like just out of nowhere, like all of them in like perfect synergy with each other. Yeah. And it looked like sort of weird zombies, like just leaning in at us and then leaning back. It was the strangest thing. That's been me walking down the hallways too. I had a Matrix day there one day where I went back like this and wasn't sure if I was going to make it back up, but it's fun, isn't it? We got there. Now your solo material, bit of a different vibe to Super Jesus. Yeah. Bit more to me, kind of a little bit more bluesy. Yeah. Yep. Was that a conscious decision to step outside the Super Jesus material and take a different direction? I try to, yeah, because you've got to try and keep them separate. I think the Super Jesus, traditionally has been more dirgy, if that's a word, a lot of sort of like grungy halftime riffs and almost a bit metally, like pentatonics and scales and shit, whereas my pop stuff is, most of it's in major chords and it's all like, woo, party on the boat. More fun than sad. Yeah, it's more fun, yeah. Yeah. Cool. During your set, you were talking about a little adventure in New York where you had writer's block and you wrote a song about writer's block. You want to tell us, or tell the readers a bit more about that? Well, so I gave myself 3 months to write an album. And I went to New York, I thought, because I don't want any distractions. I'm no good with distractions. Like, someone calls me and says, hey, do you want to go out and have a drink? And I go, no, because I'm writing. And then I put the phone down and I spend the rest of the evening thinking about what they're doing and how it might have been more fun and how it should have gone, and it just ruins the whole thing. So I thought, I'll take myself right out of here. So I went to Brooklyn, I got an apartment in the snow, and I set up a studio, and I was writing 1 song per week. And I started off really good. I was like, great. I went there with no ideas, like nothing up my sleeve. Yep. And then it was like I started getting cocky. I had written 3 good songs. I'm like, I'm on a roll, and then nothing. And then I started to panic because it was days and days and days, because I thought I'd get 1 day off a week, and then for 6 days I could be writing. And then it was like 4 days I wasted going, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I've lost it. I've lost my imagination. I can't think of what to do. And then I thought, that's what I'll do. I'll write a song about looking for my imagination. Yeah. And it'll be about me running around New York, trying to think of all the weird and dangerous places it may have ended up.
unguarded.
Did you find anywhere weird and dangerous while you were there?
No, just my imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Which is weird and dangerous enough.
Would you have any tips for budding songwriters on how to deal with that writer's block situation?
Push through. You got to push through. Like, I often just sit at my piano or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know. But if you just, you sort of start, you got to start. Just start with something, and you just sit there. If you sit there long enough, something will come. And I got this from a documentary I watched on ABBA. And it was, I don't know, Benny or Bjorn, I get them confused, but one of them was saying how songwriting is like sitting at a cupboard waiting for the cupboard monster to come out. You can sit there all day waiting and waiting and waiting, and the minute you go, you know, I'm just going to get out of here for a minute, you go to the loo or whatever, and the cupboard monster will come and go, and then go back in the cupboard, and you come back out and you're like, still not here. It's like that with songwriting, and that was his analogy, and I thought, you're so right. It's absolute time on the tools. You've got to be patient, you've got to sit there, and you've got to write a lot of shit, and eventually you start running good bits. And then if you write a good bit, then you ditch the shit that you did before, and then you stick with that good bit, and then you work on the good bit, then you get a better bit, and then you ditch the thing that you thought was the good bit. It's like dominoes, and then it just builds and builds and builds, and by the end, what you have is nothing what you had at the beginning, but you just have to sit there long enough and keep replacing the good bit and get rid of the crap.
Yeah. You always got to be ready to go, right, and ready to capture it. You ever found you've lost stuff?
You've got to be ready to capture it, and you've got to be not afraid to lose shit. Like, you've got to be, oh, but that part's really good, great, but it doesn't suit the song anymore. The song's gone a different direction. But I love that bridge, bad luck. Put it in your hard drive for spare parts. Yeah, and you got to make sure you record everything. I always have a dictaphone going. I have like Logic Pro X on my computer going, recording everything all the time. I would sit at my piano with my mic and just leave the recording going, and it could be hours. And I just sit there just going, fucked if I know, you know, and you just keep going, and then you get onto something, and then you just keep going, and then when you know you've got it, then you stop it, and you go back and you just delete all the other shit. Or if you can be bothered to listen through, because sometimes there's bits of magic, and you just ditch everything else and then start putting it together.
Okay, cool. Now, you're more accustomed generally to playing larger outdoor stages, like with the Super Gs and playing festivals. What's the difference from that to being on this boat with the smaller, more intimate stages?
Oh, I love this. I love it. And we've been playing the Colony Club, which I really like. It's a really good room. I also like the Schooner Bar. It's a good room too. I prefer them. It's just, I don't know, it's just more of a vibe. I do a lot of small solo gigs as well, so I really enjoy the little rooms. More intimate, and you can talk to the people, get people up on stage.
All right, cool. You really had the crowd going in the show the other day. A song, I think it was called My Imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How does that feel when everyone joins in? Do you think it helps push you along through the show?
Yes, and I also think that that we're not standing here trying to show you what we've created. We're entertainers. Our job is to allow you to have fun, to unlock you so that you can relax and have fun. So to me, well, I'll do whatever I can to make the people get involved, because if people get involved in any way, even just singing along, they have more fun. They love it. You know, if I go to a gig and I'm singing along with someone, like, you know, hey, that was good what we did, like, because for a couple of seconds you're in the band, you know? So I always try and get people involved as much as possible because it's fun. It brings us together.
One part I really enjoyed was your cover of House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, that's my favourite.
It was really kind of, I don't know if haunting's the right word, but it kind of was a real, just like toned down and slow. Yeah. We've noticed a lot of the artists on board have been doing covers. Is that part of the deal to kind of come on board? Is that just something you decide to do yourself?
No, that's just like, again, it's throwing in things for the people. I might love all the songs that I wrote, but they're not going to know them all, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice to give them, and hey, if you didn't know that, you'll bloody know this. Just keep them entertained.
I knew that one, so I'm just trying to read some of Crispy's writing here because he wrote me some notes for some questions. What we got? You've been playing music for Super Jesus and as a solo artist for over 20 years. I can't read this next bit.
Do you want me to have a go?
Yeah, have a go. Can you read Crispy's question?
Yeah, hang on. Okay. I've been playing music for Super Jesus, Ross and Bob for over 20 years.
Bob again.
Your passport is obvious. You love music and it's still infectious. What keeps the flame burning?
Oh, there we go. The flame burning question.
It's an insatiable desire to get better.
Yep.
Because I always think that there's so much more I need to learn. There's so many more songs I need to write. I just feel like I haven't even begun. And I'm 50, so I have begun, but I feel like I've still got a whole another 5 decades of things I need to learn. And it's an insatiable thirst
Well, let's
get better.
let's jump forward then. What is next? And we'll grab that back so I know
That's
my next
not on the
question.
question.
It's on the other book. What's next for you then?
Okay,
is there releases coming up?
Yeah. So the Super Jesus are about to put out a new record.
Yeah.
Which is, I love it. It's more
Did we just get the scoop? Or do people know about this already?
We've already put out 2 singles, and we say from the forthcoming album, but we haven't said when. But we're going to put it out early next year.
Yep.
And I love it because it's more pop this time. It's sort of like sounds more like my solo stuff. It's like fun pop, shorter songs, like easy to digest and sing along anthems. And I have written a solo album which is all on piano, and that'll come afterwards. I just feel like I need to practice a little bit more until I record the piano, because at the moment my piano playing is a bit stiff. I could record it now if I brought a pianist in to play, but I don't want to. I feel like I have to just learn and do it myself. So that'll come next when I've had time to practice more.
Yeah, okay, all right. So on that, the solo stuff and Super Jesus. Do you find you need to take like a different stage presence when you're on stage doing either or? Like, is it a different Sarah?
Not when if I'm in the solo rock band, it's the same as the Super Jesus. Because if I'm standing up and I've got the guitar, I'm like, I only have one of them. But then I have like the piano show where I dress differently. Like I'll dress up sort of more, feminine, and I'll do my nails and I'll be like, hello, Sarah, and then I'll go to this punk gig. I'm like, let's go, yeah.
That actually answers that question perfectly. I didn't know how that was going to go down. That could have been I take offence to that. I'm the same person,
No.
All good. All right. If I had to make you choose between your children, and you can opt out of this or give me a diplomatic response.
This is easy because I don't have kids. Yeah.
Solo Sarah or Super Jesus?
Oh, I see what you're saying. That is almost an impossible question to answer, because I do need both in my life, because I get bored if it's just all rock and roll. I love a challenge.
Yep.
I need to be able to have moments where it's calm. Like the solo gigs are calm, and it's all about the singing in the solo gigs. It's like minimal piano, like minimal acoustic, and it's to me, I'm a singer in those moments. With the bands, I'm a rock and roller.
Yeah.
I'm singing, but I'm also playing guitar, and it's all about the entertainment. But the other thing is about the singing. So I really like the singing when I'm sitting at the piano. Like, I love it.
Yep.
I do enjoy singing. I do enjoy singing more solo than in the band, but I enjoy performing and rocking when I'm in the band.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
That's a very diplomatic response. That's good. That's all we need. So, all right, we'll kind of wrap this up, but if you had a tip for punters coming on board on how to survive 7 days on Rock the Boat, what do you reckon's the go?
I reckon I would just do what I didn't do at the beginning and just relax and get into it. And enjoy every moment and try and catch as many bands as you can, but also pace yourself a little. Try and sleep when you can. There's a lot going on, and your ears get really. People are getting tinnitus, and everyone's losing their voice because they're yelling. That's the other thing. Everyone loses their voice yelling. So just pace yourself, but relax into it, and allow the new friendships to be made. Allow people to come up willy-nilly and chat with you. No, that's all part of it. If you don't like that, you probably shouldn't be here.
Cool, that just about covers it. Have you got anything for our readers that you want to say before we head off? Tell us what's coming up.
Hello. I love you. Please love me back. Come and see a show.
All good. All right.
If you want to join my Patreon site, that's a good idea. I have a Patreon site if you want to join that. It's great. You get all the top scoops, information behind the scenes. It's called McLEOD's Wolfpack. Patreon.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you out there again.
It's called patreon.com/McLEOD's Wolfpack, actually, to be particular.
Did we get that?
Cool.
Yeah, sweet.
I've got to go and practice because I'm singing in the Barnes band tonight.
Oh, you are? I didn't ask about it. I should have asked about it.
Yeah.